Hey guys, I'm over here at Full Spectrum Lighting. They're going to show off a new lighting system they have. This is Roy.
Nice to meet you.
And he's going to go over the new lighting system they have and see if you guys are entertained by it.
Hey, well, thank you. Long time coming. And these are specifically designed for agencies. Mm-hmm. And 2 years ago, we went to the Peace Officer Convention in Ontario with the first light in the world that threw your eyesight pattern. And unfortunately, it was a little too large for their gear, so they asked that I build a gun-mounted version. And so we're now under NDA with 14 agencies, and it's come up with this. So I'll show you the typical walkthrough.
Okay.
So the requirements are that you have the Safariland holster, the Glock 17, and then the, how do I say, a competitor's light.
Fair enough.
Okay. So, and it's very particular because this has to protrude past the barrel because of jamming issues. So in case there's close contact, that's why these lights are longer than the barrel. And so the paradigm shift would be going from a momentary blip like this, because you don't want to be revealed, to this. So as you're coming up like this, you're going to see two tiny red LEDs that say how much of your battery is left. They'll turn red if it's 20% or lower, but when you come up, you're going to turn a light on in the room. And so I think the only semantical change is, do they want to make it a doorway, which is 8 by 4 feet, mm-hmm. on the first initiation of the light, and then to 180, or vice versa? But I think most importantly is when they're coming up and they're trying to search a location like that, the issue is you're spending 2 to 4 tenths of a second more when you're clearing a room with a single beam than when you come up and you're looking around a corner. This isn't moving at all.
Yes.
Right? So the gun never moves, and that's ideal. So we're overwhelmed here because I don't know much about guns. I'm the flashlight nerd, but they're very, very pleased with it so far. So we were just hoping to get final feedback. Very humble with this because there's a lot of moving parts with the tactical nature of why they need it. So, but yeah, we're very proud of this. It took a while.
Perfect. Now, is this already on the market, or is it this is a prototype?
This is a prototype. We're going to have the first 75 samples sent to the agencies in about 60 days. At that point, we're going to launch the product to the retail public and then to the tactical, law enforcement, military. I personally like the round button for consumer purposes because we don't have organic training and muscle memory and fast twitches to understand the toggle as much as an officer would because they trained with it. So if you're coming, if you're coming up with a round button and someone's breaking into your house, I want all 180 and you're going to fire right away.
Yes,
you're
sir.
not going to wait on that. If you're in a tactical situation, certainly you don't want to hurt anyone. So there's going to be, there's going to be an escalating situation that the round button would not work. So we're going to have both of these. So this toggle would be right about there, and so it'll easily fit the Safariland Glock holster.
Oh, that's perfect, because biggest problem with light companies is holster compatibility.
That's why it took so long, because it's the heat dissipation. That's why you see a flashlight with a single LED throwing forward, because the heat draws into the flashlight itself. But if you add more LEDs, the heat will start to circulate and melt the LED's solder point. That was the breaking moment in my crazy mind, and that's how we got the patents issued, is you have to get that heat away from it immediately, or it's going to fail after about 10 seconds.
Perfect. Now, if everything goes well with the agencies, what would be your expected release date to consumer use?
I think June 1st is fair for the consumer because we're going to be early intro to the law enforcement agencies. They're only going to need about 2 weeks. So I think by the end of March, we're going to be placing manufacturing orders for the retail public and the tactical side.
Perfect. So like towards the end of Q2, beginning of Q3.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a fairly reasonable time frame.
Well, I know that there's a budget, so it's not as much of a concern, consumer versus state agency. But at $300 a piece, what they have now is well in excess of that. The lights they're buying are closer to $400, and I feel that my product's going to be superior, so hopefully it helps them save some money too.
All right, and then when it hits the market, what's your expected MSRP? Granted, I know this is still prototype.
I'm right at $300.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Okay.
I'm glad we stopped by. I'm glad to see this.
Thank you.
I can't wait to get my hands on one when it hits consumer market.
Oh, it's been humbling. You know, if you try selling anything to anyone in law enforcement, no way, not going to happen. If you ask them, what do you want, you'll get a lot more intrinsic feedback and you know. So hopefully we can save a life. That's the hope.
All right. Well, perfect. Thank you very much for your time.
All right.